Hello, I'm Rabbi Sharon Kleinbaum, Senior Rabbi of Congregation Beit Simchat Torah. And on behalf of our whole community, our board of directors, our staff, and our congregation, I'm delighted to welcome all of you to CBST's second Trans Jews Are Here convening. I'm thrilled to welcome you to this convening. Whether you are new to CBST or longtime members, what a wonderful convening this is. First, I want to start with my deepest gratitude to Rabbi Mike Moskowitz, to Ariel Zitny, and to Jesse Katz, the trio who have really been working on this so diligently since the beginning of this Jewish New Year. And in addition, Rabbi Marisa James, Jason Zivik, and so many on our CBST staff are making today possible. CBST has poured many resources into making this miracle occur. And this miracle is because of all of you, of creating a new understanding of what the Jewish community could be, could look like, and can teach as our Torah. So I look forward to continued learning with you and from you, and want to welcome all of you to be on this journey of this convening together. I want to thank all those who are presenters and teachers on all the different workshops and tracks that are being offered. And I pray that in this season of Zman Cherutenu, this time of our liberation, in this Chol HaMoed Pesach, in this day of visibility, that each of us experiences the power of God's help in moving from a place of oppression to a place of liberation. Moadim l'simcha, may this season be a place of joy to each of you, and may this season be a time of liberation. Thank you so very much for being with us today.
Thank you, Rabbi Kleinbaum, and thank you to CBST for all that you've done to make this convening happen. And thank you to Jewish Live for hosting us. My name is Ariel Zitny, and I am the director of the 2021 Trans Jews Are Here convening. My pronouns are they, them, or he, him, and I'm genderqueer and transmasculine. I'm currently getting a master's degree in Jewish education, as well as studying to become a rabbi at the Reform Seminary, Hebrew Union College, Jewish Institute of Religion. Today, we come together in community to celebrate trans, non-binary, intersex, and gender non-conforming Jews. On this Trans Day of Visibility, we offer programming intended for the trans community and programming for allies, all centered on the trans Jewish experience. I know firsthand how difficult it can be to be trans in Jewish spaces. I've had people tell me it's not Jewish to be trans, and that I'm going against God. I've had people tell me I couldn't be a religious Jew if I chose to live authentically as my true gender. I've had people tell me there is no ritual that exists for people like me. But that is only part of the narrative. Today, we are helping to rewrite that narrative. When I first came out as trans, I didn't know a single other trans Jew. It is so isolating, feeling like you're the only one. After joining a queer community, I met a few other trans Jews. Then I came to rabbinical school, and as I met more Jews, I met more trans Jews. In fact, everywhere I go, I meet trans Jews. As a rabbinical student, people often ask me for my advice or my opinion on Jewish matters. I was once asked if it was possible for a trans boy to become bar mitzvah. I responded that not only could that boy become bar mitzvah, but he could even become a cantor or a rabbi if he wanted. And I was sure of that because I myself am trans. There's been nothing as rewarding as the look on that young child's face as the mother said excitedly, "Look, honey, the rabbi is just like you." Trans Jews are here. Trans Jews have been here. We have been a part of Judaism since the beginning. Since God created every person in God's image, all of humanity has shared that divine spark in our souls, and we are connected through the beauty and uniqueness of that light. Our physical forms manifest in myriad ways to reflect the complexity of our Creator. Many people use religion to spread hatred. Lawmakers in this country are using religion to try and strip trans people of our human rights. But we as Jews know the most important part of the Bible is to love your neighbor as yourself. Despite what the media may suggest, we as trans Jews know that being trans is a blessing. While many people talk about gender dysphoria when discussing trans experience, they often fail to mention the gender euphoria we also feel when we live authentically. Today, on Trans Day of Visibility, we celebrate the joy of trans existence. For more about the legal fight for trans equality, it is my honor to welcome New York State Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul. Lieutenant Governor Hochul is a great friend and supporter to CBST, to Rabbi Kleinbaum, and to the entire New York LGBTQ community. She has been with us at some of our lowest points. She immediately reached out to Rabbi Kleinbaum right after the massacre at the Pittsburgh synagogue and came to CBST's Shiva Mourning the Dead. Lieutenant Governor Hochul also came to the rainbow ribbon cutting of CBST's new home at West 30th Street. Thank you, Madam Lieutenant Governor, and we are so thrilled to have you with us today.
Well, thank you, Ariel. First of all, to Sharon Kleinbaum for always making me feel so welcome. And I think it was exactly 5 years ago this week or next week when we did do the rededication. And I left that experience just feeling so inspired and just so recommitted to social causes, because I know that that is basically what CBST is all about. I mean, it's all about embracing causes that otherwise are not popular in society until you stay with them so long that finally society catches up with where you are. And I think that's an important acknowledgement here on Trans Visibility Day, to realize what you're doing here is forward thinking and getting people accustomed to the idea. And Ariel, I wish you very much success in your studies, and you will be one of the trailblazers that other people will look to for inspiration, say, he was able to accomplish this as a transgender individual, and how impactful he is with his story, but also his devotion to God and his teachings. And I want to thank everyone who brought us together here today, the entire staff, Rabbi Mike Moskowitz. You'll be hearing from Shirley Jesse Katz, the program coordinator, everybody at the synagogue and your staff. What a powerful message to gather here today, even remotely. I look forward to doing this in person next year. Count me in. But you're going to continue this beautiful storytelling of people's personal experiences during Passover, and to remember that Passover is a story of Exodus. It's a story of remembering the oppression that people had to deal with, and realizing that today, as long as there's any individual or group that is still oppressed, that is still discriminated against, then we are not liberated ourselves. And that is the message of this beautiful season. And I want to just thank all of you for putting these issues at the forefront and challenging government to do what's right. Literally, as I was signing on, I saw that the Pentagon is reversing the Trump administration's policy to tell transgender individuals that despite their patriotism, despite their love of country, that they're not able to put on a uniform and fight for the country they love. And I thought that was abhorrent under the Trump administration, and just received word that the Pentagon is reversing that. And that is very good news for the countless individuals who simply wanted to be part of being part of the fabric of our national security and being part of our American story. I have to say, I'm not telling you something you don't know. I mean, there are 20 state legislatures right now with over 80 pieces of legislation to roll back the rights of transgendered individuals, and especially the assault on children. I mean, telling them that they don't have access to healthcare services or that they can't play sports. I mean, come on, leave the kids alone. I mean, don't you think life is tough enough for them as it is? They need our support. They need our love. They need our encouragement. They don't need to feel that they're living in a state where people are going to treat them differently and literally discriminate against them. So those are other states. Thank God we live in the state of New York. One of my greatest honors was to be able to preside over the Senate when they passed GENDA to ban discrimination, as well as also walking while trans, banning that, because that was just another way to go after our brothers and sisters in the trans community. And so we're making progress in New York, but New York is just one of 50 states. So what we do in New York is watched by other states. And I'm very proud to be part of those initiatives. But CBST, you've always been at the forefront. And this convening here today to remember that this is an opportunity to tell the stories and to validate people's lives and to let them live authentically and let them be who they are with support from all of us. And that's what's so important as we continue on through these days. So happy Passover, everyone. And again, to the trans community, we not only see you, we embrace you, we love you, we support you, and we will continue to elevate you. And that's what this event is all about. So thank you to all my friends for the opportunity just to say hello. The fight carries on, and I'll be there with you, shoulder to shoulder. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all that you do to support the trans community.
Thank you, my friends.
We mark today as holy with a Kedushat Hayom, a sanctification of the day. We will offer a series of blessings to give thanks and to lift up this day and this community as sacred. I am joined by Ze'evi Berman. Ze'evi uses ze, them, their, or they, them pronouns. Ze'evi is a Cantorial and education student at Hebrew Union College and is also my soon-to-be spouse. Ze'evi and I will join in offering blessings to sanctify this day. We will first make Kiddush and then offer blessings for the holiness of this specific day, this trans day of visibility.
Although the Kiddush is technically the blessing for grape juice or wine, we use this blessing on holy days to help mark them as distinct. Kiddush comes from the Hebrew root, which means holy. When we say Kiddush, we are making a distinction that we are about to experience a holy day. Today, we gather together to mark Trans Day of Visibility as a holy day for us as Jews. And we sing together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Amen. I will now offer a blessing that I wrote, and we will continue with blessings from other members of our community. Blessed are those that speak your truth, a morning blessing for trans Jews. Blessed are you, eternal God, who has molded my soul from contradictions. From apparent opposites, you have created me, and from within dichotomies, I can see the plurality of your creation. Blessed are you, eternal God, who has made me trans. And now for blessings from other community members.
She'asani ish ve'isha. In hindsight, it seems that the road has been long. In real time, it seems interminable. The battle inside my mind and body, the struggle with fitting in, the question of who and what and why. Dawning of understanding was slow to arrive. A sense of self was further behind. It seemed at times to be impossible. Other times, hope was uncontainable. On balance, I was always off balance. Still, the day came when my path was clear. The voice in my head was no longer a mumble. I knew that I was created in the image of, that who I am is as perfect as can be. I am the embodiment of divine design. Baruch atah Hashem, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani ish be'isha, isha be'ish. Blessed are you, the divine creator, who saw fit to create me as man in woman, woman in man.
Hi, I'm Rabbi Rona here in Las Vegas. I'm a disabled, elder, non-binary, gender punk, trans woman rabbi. Blessed is the one who has brought us liberation, but not liberated us completely, who has brought us to this season and give us opportunity to bring liberation to others.
Blessed is the genderqueer goddess, in whose image I am made.
Blessed are you, Hama'avireh, the one who transforms, who gives us the courage and the creativity to become fully ourselves.
Blessed are you, source of all blessing, for guiding me on my path as a woman of trans experience, and for the dear friends and community I found on that path.
Blessed is the trans community who continues to show up for one another.
Blessed are you, source of all life, who has witnessed my journey as a transgender man.
Blessed is our holy gay God, who sanctifies those who cross and manifests herself in transition.
Blessed are the wise elements of our Masorah, our tradition, that affirm that each and every trans, non-binary, gender non-conforming, and intersex human being is, in their perfect beauty, a reflection of the divine.
Blessed be the one who brought me a community that lets me show up to my faith as my full, true self.
Baruch at Shekhinah Sha'asani Batzel Mo, blessed Shekhinah, who has created me in her image.
This moment is unique. This is the first time all of us have gathered together in community. And for that, we offer a Shehechianu, the blessing we give whenever we experience something for the first time. Except, since we are here to celebrate Trans Day of Visibility, Ze'evi will offer the Shehechianu in gender-neutral Hebrew, adapted from the non-binary Hebrew project. Just as using gender-neutral language helps us expand our ways of thinking about human existence, using gender-neutral language for God helps us think about God in more complex ways. This Shehechetenu uses gender-neutral Hebrew for God, so we can all see ourselves reflected in God's complexity.
Baruch ateh Adonai, Eloheinu שחטאנו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה, לזמן הזה. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, life of the universe, who has kept us alive and sustained us and enabled us to reach this moment, to reach this time. May we be blessed. May we be blessed with time, with space to feel fully alive in these bodies, in this life. Adonai, Eloheinu chei ha'olamim, שחטאנו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה, לזמן הזה.
Amen. It is now my honor and pleasure to invite Rabbi Becky Silverstein to tell us a little bit about the Trans Halakha Project.
Hey everyone, I'm Becky Silverstein. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm excited to be joining y'all for this year's convening. I'm a non-binary genderqueer rabbi connecting from Massachusetts land, now known as Boston. I've had and have many different roles in the Jewish community, almost all of them falling broadly under the category of what rabbis might do. Most salient to this work, I'm a fellow at Sfara, a traditionally radical yeshiva. First, I want to thank Ariel and the rest of the conference conveners for this time, so I can share with you about a new project. Today, I'm excited to, together with my colleague Lainey Solomon, Associate Rosh Yeshiva and Director of Transformative Leadership at Sfara, launch the Trans Halakha Project. The Trans Halakha Project, housed at Sfara, a traditionally radical yeshiva, aims to curate existing resources that have been developed for trans Jews and by trans Jews, identifying new areas of halakha, Jewish law, that have yet to be developed, and finally, to create opportunities for developing new halachic literature and practice guides that speak directly to these areas of need. We hope to first and foremost provide concrete resources to trans Jews that will nurture affirming and joyful pathways into Jewish expression. At Sfara, we like to start with inside translations. Translations that might be awkward, but get to the deepest core meaning of a word. The word Kedusha, as in Kedushat Hayom, the theme of our convening today, comes from the root Kuf Daled Shin, which means to be cut off or separated. The word itself, the word itself, Kedusha, is one layer up, meaning holiness, or as a verb, to become holy, to be holy. We could spend more time than I have right now diving into the relationship between holy and separation. Having said that, Kedusha, Jewish language for holiness, is about the process of sanctification, about drawing our attention to the everyday and helping us to become more aware of the sacredness that lives within it. Throughout our history, Jewish law, halakha, has been a powerful pathway, language, and framework for helping our people find holiness in the everyday. Our goal is to uplift trans voices in the creation, shaping, and developing of this language for holiness through this work. As we launch this project, we want to name that we're building on centuries of work, some of it done by people whose names we know, some by those whose names we wish we knew. This is not an entirely new project, but aims to help nurture, harvest, and distribute powerful work that has been done for years, along with the possibility of creating a more liberatory halakha, a more liberatory body of Jewish law. Lainey and I have both witnessed and experienced the difficulty that so many trans Jews face in trying to find resources and practices that are truly for us. It is our goal through this work to change this and to increase our community's ability to find resources, practices, and frameworks that speak to and from our lived experiences with ease and in a way that uplifts our dignity. And this is personal. I have a desire to see myself reflected in a system, halacha, that I have often struggled to engage with. Our hope is that the project will be grounded in this community, in the trans Jewish community, and that we can provide different moments for engagement. We see ourselves as facilitators, guides, and conveners, and hope to elevate a vision of halachic practice and thinking that is rooted in grassroots communal expression and collective thinking. So we're going to begin that engagement today. Lainey is on the live stream and hopefully putting the project website into the chat. If not, it will be in the post-convening email. All of you are invited to share this project with those who might be interested. Fellow trans Jews, we invite you to take our survey. It's on the website. All of you, no matter your current connection to Jewish tradition, community, or law. If you want to talk more about the project or have questions, email us at contact@svara.org. If you want to stay up to date on the project, sign up for Svara's email list on their website. I've already taught my session this morning, so now I'm just simply looking forward to learning with all of you today. I'm already filled with the joy of this moment and the open-heartedness that comes with knowing that the Jewish tradition is more vibrant because each one of us is spending time with it. Ask good questions, learn good Torah, and I'll see you in a Beit Midrash soon.
Thank you so much to Rabbi Becky Silverstein. We have a full day of programming left. On the trans track, our programming is led by trans Jews for trans Jews. We have had so many people register, we have had to close our registration. To prioritize the trans track for trans, non-binary, intersex, and gender non-conforming individuals, we ask that allies please prioritize the allied track for themselves to leave room for the trans community in the main trans track. In our trans track, we have a variety of workshops, with multiple workshops offered every hour. Some workshops have religious topics, such as learning about trans stories in Torah, or discussing how Jewish law or ritual can apply to trans people. Some workshops have secular topics, such as how to create community archives, or how to tell your story. And some are mixed, religious and secular, such as a trans Jewish case for abolition, or insights in Jewish disability and aging. We offer all of this programming free of charge to make sure it is accessible to as many people as possible. All of our workshops have live captions available, and some of our workshops have ASL interpretation, and they will be labeled if they do. Additionally, all of our workshop leaders have either generously donated their time or have been paid for their participation, as we do not want to ask trans people for free labor, especially on Trans Day of Visibility. We would not be able to do all of this without the generous donations from our sponsoring organizations and from all of you. If you would like to support more trans programming at CBST, any and every contribution helps. To contribute, please visit cbst.org/transjews and click the link that says Contribute underneath the Trans Jews Are Here 2021 Convening heading. And now, to tell us a little bit more about the Ally track, I am excited to invite Rabbi Mike Moskowitz, resident scholar of trans and queer studies at CBST, who has been a vital part of the Trans Jews Are Here convening team. Rabbi Moskowitz will now share a few words on allyship, as well as what to expect from the Ally track.
Shalom, good night, Ariel. Thank you so much for your moving words and for sharing of your story and for making today possible. On Leil Seder, the night of Passover, the Maggid begins with this strange declaration that for all who are hungry, let them come and eat. And the commentators point out that it's an awkward and almost inappropriate time to invite people to your meal. If you want someone to show up, so give them time, send them an invitation to be able to make plans. But once the door is closed and the food is on the table, to invite people, it seems very out of place. And our tradition answers that in moments of clarity, we can all recognize the necessity for communal responsibility. However, in particular moments when we're free from the distraction of the world and the year, like on the night of Passover, when our soul is liberated, it simply cannot hold back from its desire to be here for the other. And so although the timing could probably always be better, and it requires some moments and some time and some learning to be able to get to that place, if we really want to be able to be in relationship with God as a parent, then we need to allow our souls to scream out from its depth the necessity to provide, to love, to care, to elevate, to cherish all of our siblings. And so the allyship track will help us do that a little bit better, with a little bit more confidence, with a little less awkwardness, hopefully. So we have in the chat the details of who is speaking and more information about each one, but just in terms of the times and the titles, from 1:15 to 3:15, Keshet will be offering a really important and really exciting new 2-hour training on allyship. From 3:30 to 4:30, there's a panel, rabbis as allies. You do not need to be a rabbi to attend. You don't need to even aspire or be in training to be a rabbi. For anyone who comes into ritual space, it will be valuable. And then from 4:45 to 5:45, there will be a lecture on the place of trans Torah in Jewish history. And finally, we are very excited that CBST is publishing another book. This one is called Chaver Up. It is 49 rabbis and spiritual leaders sharing from their own experiences of allyship as spiritual practice, with the messiness and the holiness that is involved. CBST is posting one essay a day for the 49 days between Passover and Shavuot. This book is available starting today, and the link for it will also be available in the chat. Thank you all so very much, and may this season be one of permanent and total liberation.
With so much gratitude to Rabbi Moskowitz and also to Jessie Katz, CBST program coordinator, for being my teammates in helping put together this amazing day. Without the both of you, none of this would be possible. And thank you again for CBST for putting together this amazing convening. As we began our session with blessings, we will end also with blessings. This priestly benediction is perhaps the oldest blessing in our tradition. It is traditionally given in the masculine form in Hebrew. While it has been adapted to be given in the feminine form in Hebrew, we know that these two options do not work for everyone. And yet, everyone deserves blessings. Using the Non-Binary Hebrew Project, which can be found at nonbinaryhebrew.com, Ze'evi will offer the Birkat Kohanim, the priestly benediction, in gender-neutral Hebrew, so that this blessing can apply to all who receive it.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav v'yelecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav v'yelecha v'yasem lechem shalom. May God bless you and protect you. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav v'yelecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav v'yelecha v'yasem lechem shalom.
To everyone in the trans, non-binary, intersex, and gender non-conforming community, you are holy. You are deserving of love and blessings. You are a reflection of God's goodness. You belong here. We see you. We love you. We are with you.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav v'yelecha v'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav v'yelecha v'yasem lechem shalom. Oh, say shalom, shalom miroma. Ooh, yaseh shalom. Oh, say shalom, shalom miroma. Ooh, yaseh shalom. Ooh, yaseh
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for gathering today in this holy communing, in holy community. Thank you for celebrating Trans Day of Visibility with us and our full day of programming. Please check out all that we have to offer for the rest of the day. Please contribute to continue supporting CBST's trans programming. And we will continue singing ourselves out as we lift up our voices in song to raise up our joy and our celebration. We will sing now a wordless nigun to share our joy, and please join in with us. Thank you, everyone, for being with us.
Happy Trans Day of Visibility.